this.
Well, there are plenty looking forward to seeing this. A capacity crowd here.
Well, on the face of it, Peter, we would appear to have a high-caliber meeting with very little at stake. But then you consider a chance for one or two of the fringe players to get a look in, and this becomes a big incentive. It changes the dynamic. So there's plenty at stake.
Off the ball! Oh, just lacked a decent finish. Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Yamal. Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal! Well, that's surely a foul. Free kick. Rodri. Ball swung in. And that has been clubbed away. Cucurella, Pedri, Baena. Seibelt, forwards and with intent. And the counter is on. That's a nicely shaped ball. And a shot! Goal, Austria! And it's Austria who go ahead. Was there ever any doubt?
Well, he always had the measure of the keeper there. Such confidence and composure.
Spain are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Cucurella. Pedri. Cucurella. Pedri. Comes under pressure and it's come loose. Oh, they could break here. Pau Kubasi gets a foot in here. Pedri. Cucurella succumbs to the pressure. Posh. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. That's an untidy challenge. Free kick given. Kubasi, Pedro Porro, Yamal, Dani Olmo, Rodri, Kubasi, Pedro Porro, Yamal in acres of space out wide, cleared away, Rodri. Seibelt does really well to win the ball there. He ran himself into trouble there. Free kick given away. Pedri. And the shot's on. Oh, shooting chance! Seibelt. Schmidt. Alaba. Lima. Sabitzer looking to get on the end of this. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Rodri. Yamal chasing after it. Spain suffering an early setback and looking to reel it back in.
Well, I would think, Peter, that this team needs help from the experience within. That should help begin the recovery at least.
That's really well manoeuvred. Pau Kubasi, and the keeper's got it again. Unai Simon, long ball by the goalkeeper. Schlager. Well, he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Great defending, strong and determined.
Well, Peter, look how far up the fullbacks are getting now. This is really high.
And constantly after the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're weighing up their options to see how long they can sustain this and suppress those wide opposition players.
Yamal, now he's off and running. Rodri played into space. Tries to get it clear. Oh, he's caught him in or out. The referee has given a free kick just outside the box.
Yeah, well, they were exposed and vulnerable, and he knew he had to do something to prevent a goal then.
He's having a go. And that is quite wonderful. He's got himself an absolute peach. Spain are all square. That was beautiful. Something close to genius. Spain grab the equaliser and we're all square.
Such a big goal, Peter. Just when the opposition thought they could turn the screw, they're back to square one again. The manager will be absolutely delighted with such a response.
Dani Olmo shifted upfield. Nice control. Aimed in, climbs up big! Didn't quite get enough on that.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Lima aim forwards. Lima, he's in plenty of space here. Sabitzer, cross from Sabitzer, well read, and the danger is averted. Pedri, Alaba, Lima, and it's lofted through here, and the keeper has it. Posh, that's been slipped through. Great challenge, time to perfection.
That's simply brilliant defending. They were outnumbered, but he still came out on top.
Well timed, excellent interception. Posh. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Midway through the first period, and it's looking quite a game here. Kubasi. Gregoric. Lima. Gregoric! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay. Lima. Dani Olmo herring after the ball here. Pedro Porro. Yamal. Pedro Porro. Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro. Yamal gets into some space. Firmly met.
Spain really are making good use of that right-hand side. The light is very much the colour green. Look, it's the width that's providing this momentum, and they look set to further exploit. Gives the defence a decision to make, whether to go zonal or man-to-man now.
Dani Olmo, gently done. Sabitzer. Schlager. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Schmidt. Lima. Now that's a fine challenge. Moved on forwards. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal, the ball is loose and the chase is on. That's gone all the way through to the keeper. Varner has created one goal already. Seibalt. Posh. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. Schmidt. Seibalt. Now it's Oyarzabal. Baena is fouled. Cucurella, and here's Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro. Might be danger here. He's had a shot! Fair attempt, just the wrong outcome.
I think his face smacks of disbelief as opposed to disappointment. He thought he was about to score.
Pedro Porro makes the interception. Pedri. Dani Olmo. Yamal looking to run onto it. Seibalt. Posh. He steps in, and that's the end of that. And it's played forward. Pedri. Oh, he's found support out wide. Cucurella. Now who's going to be first to this? Danso did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Baena has found the net here, of course. Now it's Pedri. Dani Olmo. Gets it away. Out for a throw. Pedro Porro. Solid defending, refused to be outmuscled. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Danso, gently done. Schmidt. Gregoritsch. Oh, that's a foul. Free kick's been given.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Laporte. Pedri. Dani Olmo. Pedri. Cucurella. Baena. Cucurella. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Alaba is there and he can get that clear. Posh. Danso. Schlager. Seiwalt. Varner. Proves too strong. Oyarzabal. Yamal. Done delicately. Baena could try cutting inside here. He is just caressing the ball. Plenty waiting in the middle. Baena is onto this. Rodri. And here's the chance to counter. Out to the left it goes. Now it's Gregoritsch. Dani Olmo. Oyarzabal looking for a runner. Alaba. That's really well cleared. Dani Olmo. Spread out to the left. Pedri. Dani Olmo. Baena. Rodri. Well, now takes a shot. No, not quite.
Rodri probably should have taken a breath and looked for runners. It helps to put your head up from time to time, Peter.
Pedri. Dani Olmo. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Rodri. Dani Olmo. Now then, the ball's come loose. Dani Olmo. Yamal. Dani Olmo tries a measured ball. Goes for a shot! They've scored! That's wonderfully done. Crisp hit, true finish.
Oyarzabal really showed his coolness, Peter, by not getting flustered on such a tough skill. And for me, it was controlled perfection.
Spain get themselves into the lead.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it.
Pedri with a definite foul there. Well, the referee has made it pretty clear now that this is his last chance.
He just needs to find the control button on his aggression before the ref does it for him, Peter.
And we've reached half-time. Spain come roaring back in quite some style. We've got a very different game now. So we reach the halfway point.
Well, Peter, I'm just thinking of the best way to describe that. Frantic, frenzied. It was unmissable and it was irresistible. Forget about the analysis on this one, just enjoy it.
Spain head into the half-time break with a narrow lead, 2-1. The action is back on the way. No changes at the interval from either side. Now it's Gregoric. He's through and a chance for a shot! Dani Olmo tries to clear. Oh, great defending, that needed doing. No, that's not going to find its target. Schlager tries to dink it through. Chance here to counter. Baena shifted upfield. He's one-on-one! He's big. Shoots! It's in! 2 up now, and they are cruising. Well, it would have been harder to miss.
Well, that's really well played, Peter. You have to appreciate the simplicity of it all. Killer pass, perfectly delivered.
Well, that has changed the dynamic somewhat.
I wonder if the manager is tempted to go for another and really kill the game off completely. I, for one, think he should now.
Oh, that's neat. Schlager, lobbed in behind. Oh, played through for the wide man. Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro. Laporte. Pedro Porro. Rodri. Oh, good spread. Schlager. Played towards the other side. Posh. In with the challenge. Pedri going full steam ahead down the left flank. Pedri. Mikel Oyarzabal. Baena. Now it's Pedri. Alaba. Schlager. Lima. Posh. Schmidt. Lima. Yamal absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
He's dealt with that very well, Peter. It's a real show of discipline.
Searching pass he's played there. Varner is flagged offside. Keeper's got good distance on that. Alaba. Moved on forwards. Oh, look, real chance! And he hits the net!
Yeah, a fantastic run and a fantastic pass to play him in. Both needed to be timed to perfection, and they were.
This is threatening to become a really good game.
What a difference a half-time rocket from the manager can make. This is exactly the response he'd be looking for.
Baena is offering some sort of an apology there.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Schlager. Ambitious ball here. Cucurella. Baena. Oyarzabal being hunted in packs.
Well, this defence now knows that they have to reduce his movement because they've allowed him to run free.
Pedri. Baena. Oh, well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Sabitzer. Gregoric looking to get on the end of this. Oh, nice touch. Sabitzer. Now it's Gregoric. Gregoric! He's missed, but not by that far.
We're talking fine margins, very fine margins. It's pretty clear that the defence have decided that the greatest threat to them at the moment, Peter, are people trying to just run at them.
Run at them, and I suppose beyond them, Jim.
Yeah, particularly late runners into the box. That's what you don't want. They're very dangerous to any defence.
Rodri. Baena. Cucurella. Showing good feet. He's found a way through. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Posh, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man.
Well, welcome to the modern game. You get hounded as soon as you get the ball. You can't take time like that.
Dani Olmo.
That's really good energy being shown by some of those forwards out there, keeping that defence honest.
Yeah, they look like they really want it.
Yeah, it's pretty sapping, especially at this stage, Peter, but they need to be quick with the press here.
Gregoric. Over to the left. Lima. Schmidt. Schlager. Oh, they could be caught out here.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
They're coming again and again.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Sabitzer. Sabitzer played out to the left flank. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. Now it's Lima. Lima skims one. Can he finish? Pedri. Laporte. Pedro Porro. Yamal. Dani Olmo. Yamal providing an outlet on that flank. And that's too far for anyone. Baena. Posh with the foul. Varner. Schmidt. Played out to the right. Can he latch on to this? Caught offside that time. Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur. It's just beyond his reach. And it's Arnautovic. And Arnautovic! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Arnautovic actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Pedri. Rodri. And it's played forward. Alaba gets good distance on it. So there's going to be another change here. Now it's Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal! It's there! Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Oyarzabal demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
So the lead now is 2.
Well, everything is going to plan, Peter. A day for a regular managerial heartbeat, at least for one.
Now it's Oyarzabal. Rodri. Pedri. Rodri. Laporte. Rodri. Kubasi. Pedro Porro. Yamal. Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo. Nice physical challenge. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested.
Well, for me, Peter, I think it's all too pedestrian and slow. They need a large injection of purpose now.
Baena. And he has been fouled there. Pedro Porro. Yamal. Dani Olmo. Lima. Out to the right. Posh chasing after it. Schmidt. Schlager. Schmidt. Expert, looks a foul. Yeah, referee's given it. Posh has it out wide and in space. Great defending, strong and determined. That's going to go a long way. Posh. Schmidt. Delicate ball, and it needs to be. Lima. Time to deliver. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Danso cuts out the pass, caresses it through. Shot a goal! And no, he couldn't find the finish.
And how decisive might that prove, Peter? It really would have put the wind in their sails if they were just one down as opposed to two.
We have got changes here, from both sides in fact. Kubasi. Sabitzer. And here's Arnautovic. And Arnautovic! And that's a real chance missed. Pedri. Pedri. Seibelt. That's really well manoeuvred. He's got plenty of space out wide here. And he's straight offside. Austria making consecutive changes here.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Friedel. Oh, a delicate chip through. Takes a shot! It's off target and by quite a way. Danso. Schmidt. Schlager. Forwards and with intent. Tries a measured ball. Ah, such a clever touch. Yamal. Schmidt. Alaba chooses to go cross-field. Thinks one through. Oh, great play! And he's had a shot! Oh, that is rather wayward. The changes then in quick succession.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Played into space. He's in space and looking for a bullish header! And that would have won it.
Oyarzabal is fully aware of how important that could have been. Probably game, set and match.
And reclaimed it in a trice. Gavi. Pedro Porro, aim forwards. Now it's Sabitzer. Now it's Oyarzabal. You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Austria making another change here. Pedro Porro. Just 5 minutes remaining now. It's a throw-in. Sabitzer. Friedel. Sabitzer. Alaba played over towards the opposite flank. It's an inviting looking ball that. That's a nicely shaped ball. And a chance! It's in! With so little time left, grandstand finish! Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
Austria give themselves a chance of a fairy tale finish. Laporte. I think we're just about done here. Now it's Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres looks across and plays it in. And they've got rid and claimed it back swiftly. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. It's a threat, and he shoots! A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary.
Spain can really think about the precious seconds that took off the clock. No need to overly commit now.
Danso looks to the other side. Friedel. Sabitzer. And it's gone back to the keeper. Fourth official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. Danso. Danso, gently done. Clipped into space. Friedel. Oh, it's played into the area. Cucurella. Ferran Torres. Laporte. Kubasi. And time is up. Spain have been forced to do it the hard way, but they have pulled themselves through unwaveringly to win. A great performance by any measure. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, I think the manager can take a great deal of satisfaction with this win. It was a solid game plan that worked pretty much as he envisaged, and the players executed it to wonderful effect.
Many thanks to Jim, and with that, it is a very good night to you.
En el marcador está a punto de aparecer el único servicio de nuestro programa de hoy. Buena suerte a todos.
And that gets things running. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Yeah, David Alaba. One of the most versatile players out there. He's just got so much positional awareness and intelligence. He can basically do a job anywhere on this pitch. He's got fabulous technique too, especially with his delivery in and around the area. He'll be eyeing up any set plays the opposition concede in that defensive third.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim. Laporte. Pedri. Baena. Cucurella. Baena. Dani Olmo. Pedri. Pedro Porro. Yamal. Dani Olmo. Pedri. Now it's Oyarzabal. It's Pedri!
Pedri made it all look so simple there before he invited his own complications.
The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Baena caresses it through. He is just caressing the ball. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Varna. Pau Kubasi gets a foot in here. Oyarzabal. He is through here. Pedri. Rodri. Rodri has got himself a free kick. Pedro Porro. Played in deep. Cleared away. Seibalt. Danso, and he goes cross-field. Pedro Porro. Yamal providing an outlet on that flank. There's the shot! He wasn't that far away.
Well, you see what a difference it makes to have so many runners into the box. Makes life so much harder for that defence.
Clipped into space. Laporte. Cucurella. Baena. Pedri. Dani Olmo. Now it's Oyarzabal! Schlager is the guilty party there. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Schlager sends that a long way. Gregoric. He's found a way through. Excellent. Up he goes! Gets it away. Rodri. Yamal.
Austria seem ready to just bide their time for the moment. Patience seems to be the operative word.
Pedro Porro. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
Pedri. And it's played into the middle. Schlager claims it, and the danger passes. Great run on the overlap here. Rodri. Cucurella. Lovely feet. And he has been fouled there. Varner making good progress on the right-hand side. Schmidt. Varner in acres of space out wide. And the flag has stayed down. And he thumps it clear. And claimed it back swiftly. No foul, says the referee.
Well, Peter, look how far up the fullbacks are getting now. This is really high.
And constantly after the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're weighing up their options to see how long they can sustain this and suppress those wide opposition players.
Pedri going full steam ahead down the left flank. Cucurella showing good feet. Seibelt. Spain are enjoying the lion's share of possession, but nothing yet to show for it. Schmidt. Now it's Gregoric. Now it's Sabitzer. Sabitzer, delicate ball, and it needs big chance! Rodri attempts a clearance. Lovely feed, he is such a good mover. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Throwing. And it's played forward. Cross goes in there. Sabitzer. Moved on forwards. Danso. Danso shifted upfield. Schmidt. Into the channel. Oh, that's neat. Schmidt. Lovely. Now chance for a shot! Goal, Austria! The breakthrough strike!
Yeah, the touch before the finish is so often the critical part, and we've just seen an example.
Austria have penetrated for the first time.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus as the opposition will inevitably react.
Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Schlager. Lima. Alaba. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Nice looking ball. Gregoric. That's going to go a long way. He's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Keeper's got good distance on that. That's a nicely weighted pass. He's in plenty of space here. Now it's Sabitzer. That's a throw. Lima. Schlager. Out to the left it goes. Lima flings in across. That's good play. And the finish!
Well, even for him, that may have been a touch ambitious.
And that is as far as they're going to go. Danso. Schmidt. Schlager. Schmidt. Aim forwards. Laporte. Pedri. Rodri tries to dink it through. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Posh. Some good work on the right flank here. Posh has it out wide and in space. He has found the way through. Pedri does really well to win the ball there. Pedri did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Dani Olmo played out towards the right wing. And the shot's on here.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Posh. Pedri producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Cucurella. Pedri. Baena. Rodri. A probing pass. That's a throw. Schlager. Yamal with the short one. He's had a shot! They've played it short. Oh, sweet feet. Yamal, back when it goes. Pedri. Dani Olmo. Oh, it's come loose. That's a good ball. Decent chance! The referee's awarded a free kick. Varna. Gregoric. Tries a measured ball.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
Dani Olmo, gently done. Dani Olmo takes a shot! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Varna forwards and with intent. Pau Kubasi. And that's been won straight back. Oh, good spread. Seibelt. Spain are still behind as we reach out for half-time. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. Pedro Porro. Dani Olmo. Rodri. Kubasi. Pedri. Cucurella. Pedri. Rodri. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
That's an untidy challenge. Free kick given. Now it's Gregoric. Schlager. Done delicately. Yamal. Pedro Porro. Dani Olmo. Rodri. Pedri. Knocks it out wide. Oh, it's a searing run. He is a man on a mission. Cucurella. Dani Olmo. Shapes to shoot! Gregoric does have his name on the score sheet, of course. Gregoric looking for a runner. Laporte. That's really well manoeuvred. Baena, gently done. Goes for a shot! Oh, surely that deserved better.
Yeah, the ball in there was simply superb. He won't be too happy that it's gone to waste like that.
Schlager shifted upfield. Oh, he's found support out wide. So who's he picking out? Sabitzer. And it's played forward. And it's dealt with by the outrushing keeper. Cucurella have it back and can go again. Dani Olmo. Oh, that's a clever looking ball. Yamal. Oh, it's played into the area. Firmly met. And the first 45 minutes are up. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break.
Well, let's not beat about the bush, Peter. It's been fairly flat and the support have had little to cheer about. So an awful lot of questions have got to be asked and the answers need to be found in a hurry.
Here we go again then.
Spain can really do with some bigger names standing up here. At times they didn't even look as if they knew what they were doing.
Kubasi, Dani Olmo, Cucurella, Kubasi, moved on forwards, great defending, strong and determined. Can he stop it going out? Alaba, Schlager, Danso, Schmidt, Danso, forwards and with intent. Rodri, Dani Olmo, Pedro Porro, Dani Olmo, Pedro Porro, Yamal in acres of space out wide. Yamal, Pedri, Dani Olmo, Yamal, Pedro Porro. Nice control. Can he deliver? Dani Olmo. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Pedro Porro, aim forwards. Dani Olmo, searching passes played there. And he's heaved it away and reclaimed it in a trice. Bullish header! And yes, it's there! The second half sparked straight into life. No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Well, Oyarzabal demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
Spain grab the equaliser and we're all square.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Baena goes on a charge down the left, played with finesse. Alaba getting this one clear. Schlager, Lima, Posch, Schmidt, Lima, lobbed in behind. Unai Simon breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball. Oh, he's caught him there, it's a free kick. Rodri, Oyarzabal, Varna gets over and intercepts. Schlager, forwards and with intent. Strong running down that left flank.
Well, I'm hoping for a nice open second half now. It's there to be won.
Lima. Schlager. Lima drives forward on the overlap. Sabitzer. Cleared without complication. Lima. In it comes. Seibelt. Oh, no question, that's a foul. Oh, good stop, it had to be. Schmidt, real chance! A real chance and a real let-off.
Well, I think the defence deserves credit for the way they were quick to close him down.
That's good pressure, good intensity.
Well, learning from your mistakes and not repeating them is never completely guaranteed, but that rear guard is more focused on him now.
Yamal delivers the ball. Defending of the desperate variety. Posh. Moved on forwards. Lima. Gregorich. So we've reached the hour mark. Baena. Oyarzabal. Danso with the foul. Baena. Cucurella looking to get on the end of this. Dani Olmo. Looking to break at pace. Baena. Cucurella, and it's lofted through here. And that pass just didn't quite work. It's gone behind for a goal kick. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Rodri does really well to win the ball there. Pau Kubasi, gently done. Well, that's beautifully weighted. Oyarzabal, chance! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
Spain certainly looks sharp there. They're very well drilled in this art of counter-attacking.
Sabitzer, it's run loose here. Sabitzer showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. That'll be a throw-in. And he's managed to gift it back. Pedro Porro. Laporte. Cucurella. Schlager. Lima. And he welcomes it in. Ball's over the line, and it is a corner. Oh, smashing header! Goal, Austria! Into the lead once more. Great corner, and he did the rest.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic move and met it perfectly.
Austria take the lead. Baena. Laporte. Cucurella. Varna wins. That's a foul. Simple decision for the referee. That's very neat. Baena. Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo! It's off target and by quite a way.
Well, that always looked a little ambitious for me, but still, at least he had the confidence to take it on.
Lima. Oh, nice touch. That's really well manoeuvred. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Sabitzer played out to the left flank. Lima. Cross to the back post. Oh, what a climb! He has done it! Two to the good, and they are purring, absolutely purring. That is a fine goal, really efficiently done.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
Austria go 2 up and into a position of real strength.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
Pedro Porro. He slings it in, climbs up big! He scores! A great delivery and a finish to match.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
We have got ourselves a game here.
Well, there's a real sense that the momentum has shifted here, Peter, and the crowd are reacting to that now.
Alaba looks to the other side.
Austria might just have gone into conservation mode here. Their focus now is clearly to just hold on.
Unlike their opponents, who have to do precisely the opposite, and time is running out on them. Cucurella. Rodri. Oyarzabal. Hit into the middle. And he's there to get it away.
Spain really are going for it here, Pete.
Little doubt, that is a foul. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card. He's in a great position here. Lima, and it's played forward. Over to the left. Sabitzer. That's tidy. Lima.
Austria clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Very nicely done. Dani Olmo. Lima is there and he can get that clear. Spain have reclaimed it. He's in plenty of space here.
Spain really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
And that could set him on his way.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Danso. Schlager. Schmidt. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Posh. It's a good run down the right. Ferran Torres wins the duel this time. Played towards the other side. Great work on the overlap. Posh gets it away.
Spain really might just end up kicking themselves after that. That could well have been it.
Varner looking to run onto it. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Played down the flank. Pedro Porro. Cross deflected over the goal line for a corner. Austria making consecutive changes here.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make...
Oh, what's he giving here? Now, the referee has given a free kick just outside the box.
Well, they're struggling to cope with a pacey dribble because they've not been at it as a team. I think the collective pressure needs to be better all around.
Cleared away. Ball is over the line. Cucurella. Rodri. The pressing's intense and it's paid off.
Spain really...
Oh, he's taken out. That'll be a foul. Well, that's a booking. Always looked it. Seibelt. Gregoric. Pau Kubas. He ran himself into trouble there. Free kick given away.
Austria surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Into the last 5 minutes. Looking here to chip it through. It's Sabitzer! Oh, he's managed to get it all wrong.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that flummoxed the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
Spain making another change here.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Pedro Porro aimed forwards. Yamal providing an outlet on that flank.
Spain really don't have a choice now. They just have to throw everything forward and give themselves a chance to draw level.
Alaba chooses to go cross-field. And there's green grass ahead of him. Out of play for a throw. And that's definitely not his best.
Well, it's probably safe to say now, Peter, that it's going to be all about game management from here.
Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Rodri. Llorente. Pedro Porro. Proves too strong. There will be a throw-in. Succumbs to the pressure. Kubasi. Cucurella. Ferran Torres. Cucurella. Ambitious ball here. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. The final seconds now. Pedro Porro. Llorente. Time added on 4 minutes. Oyarzabal! Schlager has created one goal already. And back to the goalkeeper. Kubasi. Gavi. Oh, can he get onto this? Seibelt. Alaba. And it's gone back to the keeper. Danso. Cucurella. Now it's Ferran Torres. One good cross, maybe the last chance. He's on it, can he get away? Ferran Torres. Oh, great defending, that needed doing. So that's it is all over. One of those games that many would have felt no one deserved to lose, but sentiment counts for nothing here, and at the margins, it was decided. Your reflections then, Jim?
Spain definitely struggled to get going. That was sensed by their support early on, and it just compounded the frustration.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you.
Se recuerda a los espectadores que cualquier persona que presente evidentes signos de embriaguez podrá ser expulsada del estadio.